another episode. If you're new here, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Kristen.
And we rant, rave, review, love on, hate, all things books over here.
Today we will be reviewing Godmother, a Secret Cinderella retelling story, whatever, by Carolyn Turgeon. Yeah, heavily emphasis on the Secret Cinderella story.
Yep. The basic structure of our episode is that we do a quick summary in the beginning, we give our reviews in the middle, and then towards the end we do our spoiler section where we'll talk in depth about our hated and most loved parts.
If you wish to follow along with us, our reading and review schedule will be linked in the description below.
Without further ado, let's jump into it. So I'm sad, but I'm also kind of happy, if we're being honest here. But this is the end of our books of our youth.
Yes, thank God, actually. I'm actually really excited, but then I'm really scared for the next month. But I'm actually really excited for that month. I had the same feeling I had at the beginning of this month that I do for the next month. I'm wary, let's put it that way.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for next month. We'll talk a little bit about that later at the end of this episode when we conclude. But I guess we can bring a little bit here too in case you're here and you don't want to see spoilers. But the theme for our next month, because of course it's February.
It's February, monster love.
And we want to do, yeah. So we want to do love, but we wanted to do a spin on it. So, yes, as Kristen said, we are doing monster love specifically. Yeah. Because I feel like we read enough love. We have basic love. Like, we're all in that. That's our daily.
Yeah.
But we wanted something a little bit different. So I have dragged Kristen.
She dragged me into it.
For monster love. So we actually, for somehow, in the world of monster novels, there are serious ones. And ones that are a little bit more lighthearted. Did not know there were really, like, serious ones.
I had no idea either. I thought they were all, like, spoof, love, fantasy, sci-fi type things. I didn't think people actually took them serious. Like, when we read about the door.
Yes.
Like, is unhinged. Like, it was supposed to be, like, a comic relief, romantasy, fantasy book.
Like, they don't take themselves too seriously. Yeah. At least I hope not. If you're reading a book about fucking a door, I hope that you're not taking it too seriously.
She didn't.
Yeah, but so I was surprised to find out that there were some books in this genre that people did take seriously and we managed to find two of them. Kristen picked one, I picked one. We also did, of course, pick less serious ones.
Yeah, we did.
Which I'm excited about those. It'll be a good palate cleanser.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So anyways, stay tuned for that. This conclusion, though, I am happy to be done with our books from the youth. It was fun to sort of dip our toes back in stuff that we had previously read, and then to get an idea of, like, the books that Kristen and I were reading, which were completely different, I must say.
Yeah.
Our genres were a lot different.
Like I said before, I was definitely in the dark retellings, and not that they were good. Now, I didn't say they were good, but I definitely was reading those quite a bit, trying to find that ultimate good book of a dark retelling. I was searching. I was searching to the ends of the fucking earth, as you could tell.
Yeah.
For a dark retelling, and I was also into, like, death books too. So which I kind of wanted to include that into our youth books, but, like, I didn't because I felt like these would be better books to talk about. Mm-hmm. So it ended up working out. I think we picked up some good books to rant and talk about.
I agree. And it's so funny that we both come from two different sides of the genre, but then somehow ended up in the same area, like obsessed with the same types of books.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. It's been fun to do it all. But anyway, so yeah, this is Kristen's book.
Yes. So this book is, I would say it's a stretch retelling. Okay. I say that because you really don't know what you're getting into in this book. You think you're getting a retelling, which you kind of are, only to be slapped in the face. So if you're ready for a slap in the face type of ending, you are getting it.
If you're ready for a slap in the face, you can walk right out. Come on up.
Yeah, and you don't know when you're getting it, but you're going to get a slap in the face. Read this book, you'll get a slap in the face. Anyways, this book is about a little old lady who lives in New York, and she works at a bookstore, and the bookstore owner is, like, a really good guy. And I think her name is Lil. Mm-hmm. Lil is, like, really, really fond of him, and she believes that she's not of this world. She believes she's a godmother, and she hides her wings in the back so that the humans don't see who she is and what kind of life she is. And the wings are super fucking huge, by the way. They're like bird wings. So she thinks there's feathers flying around everywhere. She thinks they're gonna find out about her. So she really tries to hide who she is. And she's pretty old. I would say she's like, they don't really say her age that I recall, but in my head, I envision her to be like a 70, 80-year-old woman.
Oh, old.
Because she always mentions how old she is.
Yeah, she is old.
They do say what age. I think 1920-ish time, but I'm assuming in 1920 she's probably like close to 18, 19 years old.
Possibly.
But they don't say her age even then.
Yeah.
So like, that's the kind of crazy thing is that you don't know what's going on. You're kind of going back and forth between times. You're going in her past, and you're going into her present. Mm-hmm. And during this time, she's retelling her past, which was her former life that she lived with the fairies. And she was Cinderella's godmother. And this is a dark retelling, so it's a tragic end to her fairy tale life that she lived. And something really bad happened that's not the normal, lighthearted Disney version of the Cinderella story. And she's actually hearing the Disney version of the Cinderella story as she's like living this present time life in New York, and she thinks that they're beautiful retellings, but they're not the truth. Yeah. And she wonders how they got it drastically wrong. Because her version of the so-called truth is dark. Mm-hmm. So she believes that she has to redeem herself to go back into the past.
Yeah, she did something that caused her to be exiled to the human world.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she is looking this entire time that she spent in the human world for a way to redeem herself. Yeah.
It's very, like, let's say, I would say interesting, but it's not interesting. It's more like, this is a very lazy way of having a redemption
That's
story.
A perfect way to explain that.
It's so lazy.
It was lazy.
It was like her redemption arc it was just lazily, like she believed it and it was so lazy. Like, how did this tragic story that you believed happen is supposed to be redeemed by something so uneventful and something so lazy? Like, this is something you could wake up and do, considering what happened in her past.
Yeah.
So there's that there's that whole story. Without getting into spoilers, I didn't want to say too much about the summary. That's practically it. Mm-hmm. But yes, I would like you to go first, Crystal, with your rating.
I gave it a 2. And I think that's being generous.
It is.
I want to give it like a 1. I want to give it...
You are generous.
Like a 1.5.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I gave it a 2 is because... The time that she is in the fairy world, I loved every part of that. I was eating it up. I like watching these events unfold through her eyes in the fairy world, because she like discovers human emotions. She discovers things like longing and desire, and she falls in love with somebody that makes her fall in love with the perfect mess that is like humans. And so that was great. It was so good. And so that's why it's a 2, because I really loved all that. And even though it ended horribly, and even though the present tense I literally could give a fuck about, because it was, as Kristen said, like, it was lazy, and I don't know if I'm blaming that laziness on our main character or if I want to blame that laziness on the author. Because I don't know whose fault it is, really.
Agreed.
I'm confused.
Preach that. Preach that.
But to me, a lot of this book felt like the author created this great world, this masterpiece, and then she decided at the very end of it, as her final, like, you know, cherry on top, she was going to cover it with fucking red marks all over it, and just to be edgy and just to make a statement. Yeah. And I really think she fucked up. With the ending. Yeah. Because, I mean, at best, even if the ending weren't as bad as it was, I think I would probably be sitting more close to a 2.5, maybe a 3. Maybe? Like, I want it to be more. Like, I want to give it more, but, like, the whole present tense stuff was so boring, and I hated all parts of it. And the fairy stuff is so small. Yeah. But all of the fairy stuff was so good. And I can't deny all of that. Yeah. But yeah, we already kind of talked about it, but the redemption arc was just cliche and boring. And again, whose fault that is, I don't know.
Same.
But that's pretty much. I mean, this book is not really in depth. There's not a lot to this book. It's kind of a one trick pony.
Yeah.
And that that trick happens at the very end, and the rest of it is just like.
And you know what? To wait to the very end to get to that trick, you're so fucking
it's the
mad.
last like 4 pages. You're like, what?
I
I made it through this whole book for what?
I'm so glad somebody else read this with me because like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
But Kristen was telling me the whole like she didn't like it, she hated it. And I'm like, Kristen, I'm like 80% through.
I'm crying so bad. I'm so fucking glad because like I read this when I was younger and nobody else around me read it, so I was so mad at this book for fucking years. And when finally you were telling me, oh, like let's get books from our child, I was like, I know which one. I'm gonna get her. So I'm gonna get her with this book. And I was trying to tell you like several times, like, Crystal, this book is bad. This book is bad. I'm purposely picking this book, and so like I didn't know if it was. I was like, I couldn't wait for you to read it because like I didn't know how it was gonna hit you. But while you were reading it, I'm like, I can't wait till she gets to this fucking end.
And I was trying so hard not to message her about it, but when the ending happened, I was like, I even messaged her too, like, we gotta save our rants for the show, but just know I'm fucking upset. I was so pissed.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's without giving spoilers. We are trying so hard not to even talk about it right now. But is that the end of your rating, by the way?
That was the end of my rating, yeah.
So mine, I gave it a 1.5. Because, like, I am so angry. I am so angry at this book. And mind you, I also read another book of hers after this book. I can't
even believe that.
I know, right? I read this book and I was like, you know what? I fucking hate it. But she did so many retellings. I'm like, maybe she did a better one. So I read the mermaid one. And, no.
No.
Don't read any of her retellings if you don't want to get slapped in the face. You're going to get slapped in the face. But yeah, I gave it a 1.5. And mostly it's because this whole secret life she lives, even if, okay, I don't want to give a spoiler, so let me rephrase this. The present day life is so infuriating. She goes around wrapping herself of these wings that she has. She makes sense. I have to put my head down when I say that. I can't like let you guys see my face when I say that. She goes around with these fucking wings. And she believes feathers are everywhere. There was a scene that I absolutely hated too that I'll get into in spoilers. But like it made me so frustrated with her as a person. And like the fact that she's trying to redeem herself through this lazy way, it just, oh my god, it angered me. And then when the end hit, I was like, I wanted to just throw the book. And at the time I was reading it, I don't remember if I was reading it, I couldn't have been reading it on Kindle. But I knew I just wanted to do violent things to this book. I just fucking hated it.
I couldn't imagine having read this and been stewing alone in my anger.
For years.
Yeah,
for years.
Kristen's been waiting for years to drop this on someone.
I did. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Now I can compare it with, like, Crystal. It's not as bad as Godmother, that ending.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
this is certainly an ending to which I will be comparing all other book endings from now on. I'm like, yeah, this book ending sucks, but it wasn't as bad as Godmother. No, I don't think so.
And let me talk about this cover real quick. The cover of the book is so fucking weird.
It is weird. I don't like it. It's like some Photoshop shit somebody just put together. It doesn't really encompass what the book is about.
It also got a bridge on it.
Yeah.
Like, is it supposed to be bridging the two worlds? I don't fucking know. I'm stretching that. It's so bad. But the bridge actually emphasizes something at the ending.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong, but that's not how I pictured the bridge at the ending.
I mean, that's the only bridge I can think of.
Yeah, no, you're right, I think.
But, like, why are we emphasizing that one part of the book? Why not just have fairies at the lake? Make something pretty. Do something.
And the font of Godmother is like, Godmother.
Godmother. Secret Cinderella is that like, what? Is it really a secret Cinderella? Are you lying? You're lying. It should be a lying Cinderella story.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm so bitter about this.
Yes. This reminded me a lot of... This must be what people felt like when they went into a Midas retelling and then got to book 3 and they're like, what the fuck is this book? Like, I feel for them a little bit now because that's how this book absolutely made me feel.
Yeah. Lies. All lies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the end of our ratings.
Yeah, without giving too much. I mean, the book is not that there's not too much going on.
No,
at least
there's practically nothing going on.
Yeah, it's
especially
simple.
in the real world parts. Like the fairy world parts has a little bit more interesting of a story, but that real world, it gives you a little bit and takes it away from you. It's like, here's your dinner. No, you can't eat this. You can't eat this. You can't eat this.
Yeah. And it's like, that was really the only thing driving me through the book, because I actually read it pretty quickly because I was interested in it, but I was really interested in getting back to the fairy part, and so I would like gobble this trash up so I could get to like the meat and the bones, and then the fucking trash, and then I'd go back into the meat and the bones, and just imagine then how I felt
disappointing
at the fucking end.
Yes.
So when all I cared about was the fairy parts, that's all that was pulling me through this bullshit of a book.
I am so glad you read it, because like now I know I have a partner in this
Of hate,
like,
yes.
yeah, because I was so devastated and disappointed in this book.
I would recommend this book to my enemies. If you get this recommendation from me, know that I don't like you.
Listen, I love you, Crystal. I didn't give this to you because I hated you. I gave this to you because I needed a comrade in this. And you said, Kristen, I need books from your childhood. I said, got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Always.
I have a silent bomb waiting to go off.
I like that it was saved for the end too, to really like put a cherry on this fucking event of ours.
Yeah, yep.
It's great though, because nothing really ties us quite together like hating on book.
Right?
Yeah, like I love it.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
But anyways, I think. Oh wait, sorry. Let me do Goodreads. Okay, so we'll go into the Goodreads. I did not put in the 1 stars, of course, because we are the representation of the 1 stars.
Yes.
It got a 3.3 out of like 2,000 people.
I don't understand.
Again, I should have pulled the 5-star. Next time I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't. 5 stars that you would give this? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know how it got 3.4.
I don't even know how you got that high. You really must have been looking for like some kind of weird retelling. I don't know. What were you looking for? Please tell me.
Yeah. What did you find in this book that you were like, wow?
Did we read the same book? Like,
wow. Thought-provoking.
It was not.
No.
It was angry. It anger provoked me.
Yeah, I was anger provoked to the highest extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, with that, we can jump into our favorite part, which is the spoilers. Man,
Please
I have
go first.
such a short list. Yeah, I'll go first, but know that I'm super bitter about this.
Okay.
My best parts, there is one in particular. So when Lil goes to the castle and she's in the prince's room and he sees her in fairy form, and then she manifests into a human and then they kiss.
Yeah, that part was brilliant, beautiful,
Yeah.
lovely.
But who fucking cares?
Yeah,
it wasn't
right?
real anyways,
Doesn't
so it doesn't matter that it even happened. It didn't even happen.
It didn't happen at all.
Doesn't matter what my favorite parts are because they don't exist.
They exist in her fucking head.
Well, she could have kept that shit to her fucking self then, please.
Nope, Crystal, you know about it now. You will forever know about it now.
Yeah.
Not just me. We will know about it together.
Hate
And the
hate
8 other people who are listening.
The 8 other people, yeah. It's a small list. But yeah, that was my one best part. Do you have any best parts?
I do not. I didn't even like that part because I knew it wasn't real. But to be fair, if I would have read it for the first time, that would have been my best part. But because I already knew, I didn't like it anymore. I actually hated it just like I hated everything else. Because reading about the fairy world, knowing about this book, and what the ending is, made me hate everything about this book.
Mm-hmm.
I went in hating it already. I went in like, fuck this world, fuck her bullshit goddamn fucking made up delusional fucking world. And it was based off a painting she saw.
Yeah.
And she took that painting and she took her real life and she merged it together and she made one stupid fucking world and she made one stupid fucking story and she made one stupid fucking person and she made one stupid fucking thing. Everything.
Yeah. Same. But yeah, I really did genuinely enjoy every single of the fair. Her like knowing dreams and being able to feel humans and also being able to feel him and feel him waiting for her. Like, oh, this was so great. It was all so great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And then it just wasn't real. So can we go into our hated parts?
Yes, please go ahead. Please do
The
tell.
fucking ending. The ending of this fucking book. Okay, I said, are you kidding me with this bullshit? I'm just angry at this. The only redeeming part, like I said, were the flashbacks. But then to learn that this was all some fucking manifestation after essentially the trauma of losing her sister, it's fucking stupid. It's just so stupid. And even in my notes, I wrote, like, this is a fine story to tell. If you want to tell a story about a girl who is suppressing memories and creating this fantastical universe out of a manifestation of this trauma, fine. That's a fine story.
Yeah.
Why you would bundle it up and as a retelling of a Cinderella story is fucking stupid. That's the wrong backdrop for this type of story.
Yeah.
And it's one thing if that's kind of, I guess, no, I'm going to stand firmly on that and say that this was the wrong environment to write that story. And then to tout it out was like this godmother. Like, I want that story. I want the story of the godmother who fucked up and got exiled to the human world and had to redeem herself. Like, this whole idea of, is that the prince who was there that she saw at the diner? Is that him following her? That's the fucking story I want to read. Yeah. I want to read that one. Give it to me, please. This bullshit of her killing herself at the end was so fucking stupid. And the fact that, like, Veronica or whatever her name is was there with these paper clippings, and I have actually no idea what actually happened with her sister. Yeah. All I know, I have some vague idea that she was beat to death or
maybe sexually assaulted.
Maybe, yeah.
We don't know. We don't even know. There was no storyline in there that said, here's the fucking article. It was just a heading.
So you're going to tell me then that, okay, she made all this up, now she's going to go kill herself, and then you're not even going to give me the story? You're not going to give me the real story? You just gave me a bullshit story for the story? Yeah. I'm so upset. And I wrote in my notes here, like, please, I would rather have Satan's Affair hallucinations any day over this fucking fake bullshit nonsense. Give me these clown man sex scenes over this world that I actually want to be in, and then rip it away from me. I was just stop. Stop.
I love all you said. Can you just rip it away from me? I love your rant. That rant was like the best rant because everything you said is exactly how I felt when I first read it. I was so mad. I was so fucking bitter. I hated everything. I sat at home and stewed for like the whole day. Yes. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was so fucking mad. And like the thing is I was yearning for those dark retellings. Yeah. I wanted them so bad. This is my genre. This is what I wanted, and that's what I got. Mm-hmm. So like. It was like you're buying some brand name item that you think you're getting, and then you find out it's just the fucking, like, rip-off fucking shit thing that someone pieced together in their garage. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the fuck? Also, like, that redemption story she concocted in her head, that was the dumbest shit. Even if you did believe the story at first, which I'm sure you did. Yeah. You believed the fairy world. You believed that Cinderella existed. What the fuck would that be for her? If that was a real situation where Cinderella did really kill herself, what makes you think the redemption story is you getting this book owner and this random barbershop lady together? What the fuck? Why would that be the ends-all be-all forgiveness, apologetic fucking redemption story you get to go back into the fairy world after you fucking made out with the prince, you stole him from Cinderella, and then you let Cinderella kill herself and didn't help her when she was telling her she's pretty much going to commit suicide using the glass slipper that she had. Yeah. Why the fuck? Like, no, your redemption story should be fucking epic.
You're trying to get back into a place that you were exiled from
doing the most tragic fucking thing. If you believe that story. Yes. Even if she believed that story, which she did wholeheartedly to the very fucking end when you know it wasn't fucking real, she believed that story. Why the fuck would she think that it was as simple as that? Yeah. And why did it take so long if that's the case?
Yes. Yeah, and to your point, like, it literally is a bookshop owner and a barber shop lady. Yeah. Like, what's the, like, this Cinderella was supposed to be queen. I mean, that's the story.
Yeah. That was humans. She was half fairy.
Yes. So she was queen for the humans. This was destiny to, and that's the whole purpose of the fairies, was to aid humans in reaching their destinies or fulfilling destinies that were written in this fucking ancient tree, which you could assume is like a fate tree, right? Yeah. And that's their job. She stopped this for her own selfish needs.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a great story. It's a great story. And then the prince even fell in love with her on sight.
Yo,
and he was even able to see her as a fairy, which nobody else could. Like,
yes, this is a story that I want to read.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, that's what I put in my things to discuss. Like, the fact that she's now understanding these human emotions, she's falling in love with this prince, and he's falling in love with her, and now she's gonna walk away betray Cinderella, betray her position as a fairy, and then like I love that she's what was I gonna say? I was going somewhere with this rant, and then I lost it. But essentially, yes, this fact that she's falling in love with this prince, going after him, like stopping destiny to be with him for her own selfish reasons. I fucking love this. This is a story that I want to read. I don't want to read what it ended up being. Like, I don't understand how you dropped the ball so hard.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart reading this. Because not only that, I didn't even get the story with her and the prince anymore. Like, I couldn't wait for her to go back to him. I didn't even read the ball story. Like, when she went to go see him at the ball, like, that wasn't even really told.
Right? Like, but she would flashback kind of in present about, like, oh, I smell these, like I smelled them on the veranda or whatever.
Yeah, the way he held me, the way, like, it ended up not being the story about the prince. She was envisioning her time in the so-called past present, I guess, with her and her so-called prince. So, like, it wasn't, you never got that story. And, like, I was able to start to see when I was first reading this book, even, that, like, something doesn't seem right. Because the author was throwing nuggets of people seeing Lil in the middle of the street being like, hey, I knew your sister. And you're like, you couldn't know. And it's like, okay, well, maybe they gave these humans, like, some kind of memory thing so she could fit into the world. Like, I don't fucking know. But I was starting to get away from her delusion and starting to realize when things were starting to slowly connect that she was delusional. Yeah. Like, when they said, oh, I found your sister's stuff with articles. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. But, like, the fact is that you were never going to get that storyline. Like, you started to, like, deteriorate. Her fairy world started to deteriorate. So you never even really got more of the fairy world after that kiss with him. That was it. That was really the ending of the fairy world. Yeah, because it had just started to kind of to crumble. I remember what I was going to say now. My mid-rant. Yeah. There is a part in this book where she's contemplating for just a moment about the fact that maybe it was actually destiny that she stopped it from happening and that he was supposed to be with her. And it's like... That's even believable too. And that's the story I want to know. Like, I want to dive into this. I want to... Somebody please write a story about this mystical fairy who falls in love with this prince and stops true destiny, but maybe it's really destiny and you don't know, but she gets exiled. Please somebody write that story for me. Yes. Because it's such a good idea. Yeah. And again, I'm just going to reiterate it because I can. I don't know how you could have such a great idea such as this and then produce this crap book instead. Like, I don't know. I don't remember this author's name. She's blacklisted, so I don't really... Carolyn Turgeon. Carolyn. Carolyn. Like, everything was so good in this world, and I'm just upset. I'm bitter at that it was ripped away. And don't get me wrong, those tragic endings weren't the reason why I hated it. No. Those tragic endings were the reason why I felt like it could have been a good story. It was just, if you're going to do one way or the other. If you're going to do both, then you need a bigger story to tell. And don't piggyback it on a Cinderella retelling. Yeah. Or if you're going to say it's a Cinderella, like, don't say a Cinderella retelling at the beginning. Just say Godmother. Like, whatever. Don't even do Godmother. Title it something fucking else. Like, this Secret Fairy Life or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. All I know is that when she was doing this, and I felt like she didn't pick a lane. I felt like she didn't decide she wanted to wholeheartedly make this a real Godmother story, or she really wanted to make this a tragic ending where a lady was delusional and trying to forego all of the things that happened in her previous life and substitute it for a made-up world so she could easily take it in. Mm-hmm. Like, something. But I felt like either way you were going to go, we still didn't get a hard story on either end. You're right. Like, we didn't get the ball story. We didn't get, like, the prince story. We didn't get how they casted her out. They kind of talked about it, but there was no hard anything on that. Mm-hmm. And then you get this story where the tragic end of her sister and her life she felt was going to shit. We didn't even get that backstory. No. So we were left with nothing on both ends. Yes, and 100%. I think that's what pissed me the fuck off. Yeah.
Because if you're gonna tell either one of these stories, then go full-heartedly into one of these stories.
She didn't. She fucking did it.
Yeah, and this could have easily been resolved with an episode at the very end, talking about Veronica talking to George. Is that his name, George?
I don't remember.
I don't know. With the dude, the bookstore owner about
yeah. Make up whatever name you want to. Who cares?
Yeah, about like reading the articles or discussing it with him, like giving us something. But the fact that you just kind of like left it open, she just killed herself. And you don't even know if she killed herself.
Yeah, she could be alive still.
She just jumped into a bridge, and that's literally the last line. Like, she sees Cinderella's face, and then she's in the water.
Yeah. That's it.
That's all, folks. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. This is a blacklisted author. I'm not going to read anymore. I'm so upset.
I don't read anything because, like I said, I tried one more book of hers because I was desperate for a retelling. I don't know how I could have read Mermaid first and then went into Godmother. I just know I hated Mermaid too, but not as desperately as not as bad as I hated Godmother. Godmother is what did it for me. Maybe Godmother is where I stopped, but all I know is that I can't read any of her stuff no more.
No,
she really did it for me. She was one of the first authors I decidedly hated.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I cannot read this or any of her stuff anymore.
Yeah, I could, 100%. I read one, and I was done. I checked out.
I tried. To be fair, I tried another book, so.
That is fair. Yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and take your word for it. I'm not even going to, I don't even want to read another book.
Don't.
Waste my time with this bullshit. Unless she gives me that. She's like, actually, guys, I heard your criticism, and then I wrote an actual.
This is old book, so like this is an old book. So maybe she fixed herself and redid it and got better at writing and made a story that ties in everything. I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna read it
unless she's going back to the human world, or I'm sorry, the fairy world.
Can you imagine a Godmother too?
Oh my God! I'll be out there with a pitchfork. Justice for Godmother 1. You did this book so dirty. How could you have ran it to the fucking goal line and you tripped? I don't understand. And I really think it was like, I don't even want to bet.
I think she just didn't know how to end it.
Yeah,
I think she had an idea and then couldn't end it.
She was like, I want to do a really big twist, and I don't think people will see this coming. And you know what? You're right. I did not see it coming.
I know you did it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think you were, like, the last 50 pages, and you were telling me, Kristen, I still like it. I was like, where are you in this book? And you were like, I think you said you were, like, 90% of the way. You had, like, an hour left. I was like, oh, you got that whole hour.
Yeah.
To hate this book.
It was when she left her at the, left her to go dance with the prince. That was, like, there was literally an hour left of that book. I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, I think Andy can't be that bad. Carolyn was like, hold my beer. Let me show you how bad an ending can be. But we're not the only ones, because I saw a couple of the 1-star good review people who were also saying that the ending was ruined the book.
Yeah, so. It seriously ruined the book. If that ending would have been a better ending, I don't even know how you would end this book, because the direction she was going in was so difficult to finish in such a short book. I don't know, but all I know is that if any ending would have been better, I probably would have given it like a 2-3, because that fairy rule was hitting it strong for me.
Yeah, I was feeling a 3. Yeah. It was really, the president was kind of killing it, but yeah. I remember though reading the book and thinking, like, cause she goes, it's like this little old woman, she's in the bookshop, she goes home, she goes in her bath, she uncurls some fucking wings. I was like, ooh, this is cool.
Only to find out that it was shit.
Yeah, that was lies.
Yeah.
Lies, all of it lies. It was just a fucking dream.
Yeah.
A hallucination.
And the part where she goes into this George's friend's place and she has this like full on meltdown. Like, what is that before that? She like she goes to this fucking gym and I can do that. Like, what is that?
That was
shit?
So stupid.
I like hated that part. That was probably my most hated part.
Also, like, okay, so she goes in the bathroom and it's her wings that are ripping shit off the shelves.
Yeah.
And it took the shower curtain off and shit. It's like, what? Okay, then what the fuck were you doing in there?
She was doing it.
She was literally ripping this shit down, opening I think it was like the medicine cabinet and pulling all this shit out. Like, what the fuck? This girl is insane.
Yeah. It's wild.
Insane.
It's wild.
It's again. I would rather have a Sibby hallucination than this crazy ass fucking woman doing crazy ass shit. At least
I'm so happy. All right, I'm sitting right here feeling validated.
Yeah, no. Please, I'll validate you on this book all day long. Give me a stamp. Just fucking Validate.
Validate my parking mail.
Boom. Big golden star on it. You were right. This book fucking sucks. It's so bad. But anyways, I think we made our point clear.
Yes, we did. I think you made the point for me. I just sat here and laughed. Because I just needed somebody to say all the things I feel in my heart.
Yeah, so it's a hard pass for both of us. Do not read. No.
No. Do not.
But so all of that nonsense to bring us to our February books.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited to talk about these.
Which, of course, in the beginning, we gave you a little sneak peek. We are doing monster romances. Now, we went pretty deep into finding different monsters.
Yeah, we tried.
So there's an alien, there's a basilisk,
there's a
gargoyle, and a minotaur. So we're giving you options here. Pick your mate. Yeah, pick your poison. I'm excited. The first one is my pick, and it's The Hour of Gan.
Yeah, however you want to say it. I would say it's like gone because the way he says it in the book. It sounds like God, so I'm going to say gone.
Oh,
only because that's the way I'm reading it, because I kind of want that play on words.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's how you really say it.
It's a big book, so I recommend if you're following along with us that you start now.
Yeah.
If you want to be on schedule with us.
Yeah, because we have already started. We're not that far into the book, but we've started.
Yeah. And this is one of the serious ones. So we're going serious, lighthearted.
Because of the book pages.
Yes. Actually, we almost screwed ourselves over.
Yeah.
We got it in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is the alien one. So, I mean, you'll know right away when you see the cover.
Yeah, you're like, but the cover's not doing it justice so far.
The cover's horrible.
Yeah, the cover's super bad. I mean, all the covers are not that great,
no.
to be honest. But this one is just super bad for the ratings it was getting, for the seriousness of it.
Yeah.
The Split and Swallow one wasn't actually a bad cover.
No, that one's
fine.
It was
a chalice with a snake in it.
Yeah.
That's our other serious one. That one also got really good ratings. I think all of these actually did though.
Yeah. That's actually what got me to pick The Hour of Gone, is because I was reading through the reviews, not even seriously. I was just looking to see, what the fuck are people saying about this book? And so many reviews were saying 5 stars. This is one of the best reads I've ever read. The reviews were giving manacled reviews.
It's not bad, though.
It's
far, I have to give you, a little slice of it. I mean, it's not bad. Don't be discouraged by that picture. I mean, from what I'm reading so far.
Yeah.
Wait till next episode to get our full review, but yeah.
I'm waiting for Kristen
and then,
to come down this rabbit hole with me and
I'm still at arm's length with it. I'm I don't know about this. But I read after that is a rock hard gargoyle, I believe.
Yes.
The one after. And
it is.
Split or Swallow, and then the next one is
Morning Glory, Milking, or
that one is probably going to throw me one for a loop.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going to be. Rock Hard Gargoyle and the Milking one are probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Come on now.
People love the Morning Glory one. The Minotaur Milking one, people like this one. They're some of the reviews were I didn't expect it to be so sweet.
I can't. Well, the Rock Hard Gargoyle one was a friend request. A friend recommended.
Okay.
She didn't read it yet. She just wanted me to read it.
Oh, okay.
Us to read
Give
it
you the lowdown.
and get back to her. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest. I'm the House of Gone so far, or the Hour of Gone. I'm kind of liking the alien.
I'm not liking the alien. He's definitely a person that's okay, I like his personality. I'm attracted to his personality.
Well, yeah, that's definitely what I mean. There hasn't been too much of at least not now. There hasn't yet to be, for me, a description of fully what he looks like. There's little subtleties, like his spine's moving, and his snout, and his scales.
Yep, I got a lot of description from the 200 pages I've read so far. I got a full-on description. So,
yeah, listen.
I'm listening.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Apparently, my boat floats all waters. So, I'm not saying yes. I just have to be lulled into it, because right now, every time I'm hearing a mention of a spine, it's a jump scare. It's just like, oh, because sometimes he'll say things like,
And his spine moves?
yeah, his spines.
Yeah.
There's plural.
Yeah.
Which it's not computing in my head. Oh, there's 2 spines and the movements of them. Or multiple spines. It's not even 2. It could be 5. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I
still don't know that
he'll
part.
say sometimes, like, something about being a man. And so it tricks my mind. And be like, no, he's a man. But then it'll say something about...
See, I told you that yesterday.
My gray scales. And I'm like, oh, they're scales.
And then they change colors, too.
They do. But I'm really imagining a dragon, which is... I'm not opposed to dragons, okay?
No, I mean, we've bred a bunch of dragons.
Yeah,
Dragon
I mean, they always
slaves,
have a human form.
They do, and the human form is what... I mean, even Slade had kind of, like, scales, though, but, like, very little.
Yeah, but he still looked a man.
And he had spikes,
He
too.
did not... Yes, but no snout.
No snout. Like, he was still a man. He's still a man in all sense of the word. Like...
Yeah, that might be important.
That's very important. Because, like, that's where I'm sitting, like, I don't know if I can deal with this.
I don't know. Anyways, they were supposed to be a joke. Now we're contemplating the levels of what we're okay with.
Yeah, right now I'm still not okay with the MMC in The Hour of Gone.
It's okay though because you have 500 more pages for them to
do.
really warm you up into
I do. It's got to really do something special for me to decide that the spines, the fingers, the toes, the eyes, the mouth are not a contributing factor for me wanting to bang a dude.
Yeah, it's really got to pull through on that personality.
Yeah,
aspect.
that personality's got to be like a 20 out of 5. We got to take the 10 away, lower it to 5, and then make that a 20. Like, it's got to be 25. Like, 20 out of 5 for me to be like, fuck yeah, I'll do this.
Man, those reviews though. But I will give it to them that the reviews, nobody was really saying like, this was the most romantic romance. It was more about the substance of the story.
The plot is really well.
The plot is good.
It's really well written. I am all for this book just based off of the sci-fi entity of it.
Yeah.
Like, it is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big sci-fi person, so maybe you shouldn't take my recommendation on the sci-fi part of it. But I've read a few sci-fis, and usually my sci-fi has a lot to do with world building. The intricacies of, like, if there's a language barrier, how that's handled, how the science is handled. Is it realistic? Is it too far gone into sci-fi? Like, it's not bad so far.
Yeah.
I'm giving it that good old chance.
It's going to be very fun, though, with the name pronunciations, the talent. I just glazing over that shit. I'm like, there ain't no way I'm saying that. I don't even know them.
Just like fantasy, making those up.
Yeah, but they're weirder.
They're very weird.
They're like, because obviously they're aliens. So it's like it's like she just mashed, or he, I don't really know the author's
Yeah, we don't know if
preference.
it's a he or she. I don't really know either.
No.
I think it's R. Lee Smith is the name of that author.
But they mashed the keyboards and put some apostrophes in areas. I'm like, yeah.
Is the first letter of the word starts with an X?
Yes.
Most of the time. So
Yeah.
it's like
Okay. And moving along.
Yeah, I just say X-ray.
X-ray.
Starts with an X, it's an X-ray.
I had to nickname the main character because I couldn't say his name. But then somebody they nicknamed him something else, and I was like, no.
You've already nicknamed him.
He's been nicknamed, and it's not that. It's not the last half of his name. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's what I've done. I did because I was like, I was able to pronounce his name very well. So until it got to that point where they started saying his nickname, I'm like, okay, that's what I'll say then. That's how it went for me.
I refuse. I've got a cute little nickname for him already.
That's completely fine.
But yeah, so anyways, don't forget to join us for The Hour of Gone because it'll be, I'm sure, a great episode.
Yeah, it'll be a great episode, a great review. I'm really excited for this one, being that we've already started, so I kind of have the gist of where we're going with this. So the ending has to be very crazy for me to be like, I hated it.
Well,
because so far it's not. I love it so far.
Well,
the storyline.
it's not impossible,
Not that
apparently, for authors to just decide to just say, actually, she was asleep the whole time.
You know, I was even thinking something else. It was that it mimics something like another story, a sci-fi story. But I want to say no, only because there's certain things that don't make sense. Like the time jump from it, not enough time for certain things to take place. But yeah, I was wondering. I was like, is this gonna be one of those books that is like
She's asleep in a pod.
Yeah, sleep in a pod, or
this
she's actually in a whole other planet where I think she's supposed to be.
Yeah, this was her non-dream that she was supposed to have in her pod for the 3 years she was traveling. Yeah.
No, we're not gonna go that because this is sci-fi. This is bullshit.
Oh, you hear that, Miss or Mr. Smith, we will be coming for throats if the ending of this book ends and
like
it was all a
Godmother.
fucking dream.
Yeah, I hate those books. Those are cop-outs. Those are lazy writing to me.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that the author thinks that they're doing something like great or edgy or monumental when they do things like this, but it really you're just pissing off your reader.
Yeah, you really are. You're making the reader hate you, hate the story. And you know what's funny is I actually saw somebody on Instagram, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about things that they hate in books, and that was one of their very first things, is that the ending was somebody asleep. It didn't really happen. It was made up. It was delusion. Yeah, they hate it too. I don't know a person who likes that story ending.
Yeah, same.
I don't.
So please stop.
Yeah. That needs to just go the fuck away.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know there's another book that's very similar like this called Eve that I read around the same time. So I was pretty fucking... She thought she was Eve from like Adam and Eve.
Uh-huh.
She thought she was Eve the whole time. And then come to realize she wasn't Eve. She was actually just some sex trafficked person. And she made up in her head that she was Eve to get through the sex trafficking.
You know what? At least, I don't love that. But also, at least that's not set as like a... I mean, I guess it would
it was.
be.
It was
yeah,
set
it's like
to
an
be
Adam,
Eve. Yeah.
Adam and
It was
Eve.
the
You're
same
right.
story.
You're right. That's horrible. Stop fucking doing that.
Yeah, it was the
Make
same
your
exact story.
own stories. Stop piggybacking on other stories if you're
and
going to
the
do that.
title was Eve, and it had a tree with a fucking apple, and it said, a retelling of Eve. So, like, yeah.
No.
I told you, I was looking for those hard retellings.
That's not a retelling.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. Stop doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was like, I am no longer reading any of these retellings. So I stopped retellings after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been my last as well.
It was.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us here on this ranty, ravey episode. We'll be here, of course, next episode with Hour of Gone.
If you would like to follow along with us, don't forget to join us at 5 o'clock on Fridays. Like and subscribe. All of our stuff we're on Instagram, YouTube, blah, 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 all of them. If you could find us there recently.
Yeah.
I don't know for no reason.
We pop in and say hi and then pop right back out. But anyways, we'll see you guys here next episode. Bye.
Bye.